Hey YouTube fam and tribe, welcome to another Sunday Coffee Talk. Today is Sunday. For one, the week goes way too fast. but anyway, today's Sunday. Got my Thai donut here, got my coffee. And remember, before we get started here, on every Sunday is a casual kind of chat about success, manifesting. And if you have a question on Sundays, always leave it in we have the super thanks spotlight where you leave a super thanks, you attach a question to it, more of a detailed question, something that you want to learn more about, maybe you're struggling with, and that's what we discuss on every single Sunday. So remember, leave a question in the super thanks spotlight, I'll get it, and that will be featured and discussed on Sundays. But other than that, let's get rocking and rolling. At first, I was kind of struggling, like, what do I want to talk about this Sunday? And one of the things is I'm kind of going through right now, and it really comes from just being self-aware. And I think, like, when we're self-aware, before I kind of get into the meat and potatoes, what we're going to talk about, I think the first step in manifesting, the first step in, being that most successful version of you is self-awareness, because you have to be aware of your thoughts, be aware of what you're thinking about all day long, be aware of your actions and decisions. I mean, do you make quick decisions, or are you indecisive? Do you overanalyze everything to death? Do you look for the how? And I mean, that's kind of this can be like an easy phase. This can be like an aha moment. But at the same time, it's a crazy frustrating phase. And sometimes people get stuck in this phase because they get super frustrated because they finally realize, like, I didn't realize I was so flipping negative. I didn't realize my mind just goes down the rabbit hole all day long. And so, I mean, self-awareness is key. This isn't what we're going to talk about, but we're more going to talk about, the older I get, I have different experience, okay? Because I'm a little bit older and I've been doing this work for a long time. And it doesn't mean just because I'm older, I know this material. But when you are older, you have more life experience. And I've been doing this work for success and personal development ever since I was 15, 16 years old. And I got more into kind of business development, not sales, but success and business, personal development, like in my mid-20s. Okay, when I started to transition from going into professional life. From there, then I transitioned probably in my early 30s over to manifesting and success, kind of on that self-discovery, like, why are some people ultra successful and some people are not? What makes you successful? And that's what kind of led down the rabbit hole to manifesting identity, success, being that most successful version of you and stuff like that. But since I am a little bit older, the experiences I've had is that this old self, okay, when we talk about identity, you hear people in different videos, you have to burn this old version of you to become this new version. But what happens, in my opinion, this old version of you, you're not really, I mean, in essence, you're going to burn it, okay? But in my opinion, it doesn't go away, it lays dormant. You understand? That's just my true feelings, is your old self lays dormant. I mean, right now, your old self could be the main power that's governing your life, okay? And that most successful version of you, it's in here, but that's dormant right now. You understand? Okay, if you believe that you are all source and source power, then your source power is dormant right now. It's not that you don't have it, it's dormant. Okay, you have to awaken it. Okay, but things flip flop. Okay, once you get better at this and you start becoming that most successful version of you, that higher self, whatever you want to call it, what happens is that most successful version of you starts to take over. And as it starts to take over, this old self, okay, this old man, like Neville Goddard likes to say, okay, this old version of you, it doesn't entirely go away. It lays dormant. And your job is to keep it dormant. Okay. So, what I really want to talk about today is when your old self is dormant, it will creep back from time to time. Okay. It will want to take over from time to time. And you'll notice that throughout your life and you'll catch it. That's why I brought up self-awareness, like right in the beginning. Is the more you're self-aware, you'll catch yourself going back to that old version of you. No matter, you could be doing this work for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And if you're not careful, you'll go backwards into that old version of you, because this old version of you has really been with you since you were a kid, has really been with you from just your foundational growth between 0 and 7. So again, you could be 20 years old watching this. And even at 20 years old, this old version of you has been with you for a minimum of 15 years, 18 years, as far back as you can remember. Because it's been with you since that foundational period. Again, that foundational period is between 0 years old and 7. This is your most influential time. This is where you're just observing everything, taking everything in. But you're taking everything in. The key is you take everything in, but you don't kind of delete stuff that don't fit. You just take everything in as true. Okay. Just that's exactly how your subconscious mind works. Okay. Your subconscious mind just takes everything as true, what you give it, no matter if it's true or false, no matter if it's good or bad for you, it accepts it as true. Okay. So that's something I kind of gave you for like philosophy. but but kind of gave you a weird scenario there. But that's something that is 100% true. That old version of you is always it's gonna lay dormant, and it's your job to keep it dormant. And one of the things I kind of been not really struggling with now, but since I came back from Da Nang, you know, I got food poisoning in Da Nang. So when I came back, I literally came back sick because I got food poisoning, or at least the food poisoning kicked in and made me sick on the travel day coming back from Da Nang to Bangkok, Thailand. And that kicked my butt for a week. I mean, that's one of the most severe food poisonings I've had. It hung on there for an entire week. Um, then after I kind of recovered from that, the next week I was just kind of just exhausted feeling. Like this past week here, I was way more tired. Um, but it, but ever since I kind of been in Surin, I felt like that old self was kind of creeping its way in. Okay, I felt like I was kind of getting a little bit more kind of negative self-talk, not so much negative with people or ang or videos or stuff like that, but more negative self-talk. um I felt like if I just jumped on YouTube and was watching YouTube, like certain videos, I mean, sometimes certain videos get to me. That's just how my mind works. I mean, especially like Thailand videos. Like sometimes I'll just unfollow people because I just can't, you know, I just honestly, sometimes their content will trigger me because they won't tell the truth. You know, I think that's what more triggers me, because their content, they won't tell people the truth about stuff. That's a lot of like Thailand videos, because they want to sell the dream. In order to sell the dream, to sell the pipe dream, well, you got to hide all the bad stuff. So in essence, you don't tell people the truth. If you told people the truth, you know, they could make a way more better decision on what they want to do. That's how I look at it. But anyway, I felt like I was I was kind of slipping backwards a little bit in my thought process and Negativeville. Kind of my outlook started to become a little bit more negative. I noticed it more in the morning when I would wake up, make my coffee. I noticed it way more in the morning. My mind would kind of go down the rabbit hole. Or if I take a walk, that sometimes when your mind, you have nothing kind of think about. Sometimes your mind will just gravitate towards the negative. The next thing you know, you're taking an hour walk, and then when you then when you come back, you realize your awareness is there, and you realize, holy hell, like I just took an hour walk. And the whole hour, I was thinking negative the whole time. I'm playing these negative scenes in my mind. Most of us play negative scenes that never even occurred. Okay, it's all made up in our imagination. Okay. But anyway, long story short, not to go on and on and on with example over an example over an example, is once I became aware of it, you can fix it. This is what I say in all my videos. Like once you become aware of something, you can fix it. Okay. So what I'm doing now to kind of fix it is is yes, I make tons of content, tons of YouTube content. But one of the things I felt like I really kind of got away from when I came up to Surin, like when I was in Waihin, I had a really good routine. I mean, I don't know if it's because like when I lived in Waihin, it was my place, my condo, my rules, then it feels easier for me. I can set everything up exactly how I want it. Like right now in Surin, this is Ing's house. You know what I mean? So even though she's really cool and there's no issues and stuff like that, but again, deep down, I mean, I I know it's not my house. Okay, bottom line. You get me on that when I say that. So ever since I've been up here since February. Now we're not going to stay up here forever, but I don't want to go down a rabbit hole why we came up. Um, but it but ever since I've been up here, I haven't really been on a good routine. Yes, I work. Yes, that's 100%. I kind of get lost in work because there's not so much to do up here. There's very, very little distractions. There's really nothing to do. Um, but from that is I don't have like my normal routines I usually have. And I started thinking, even when I fly home uh, back to the United States, I mean, I have an office back home too. That way, when I fly back home, I have a computer set up there as well, so I don't have to take things back and forth. And and it's so funny because I was thinking about this is when I fly back home, it's really weird. When I fly back home, after I'm home for a couple of days at least to kind of, I mean, jet lag. I mean, okay, I can't relate. I mean, jet lag when you live in another country, especially Thailand. I mean, there's a 12-hour, 13-hour difference. I mean, that's a major jet lag. It usually takes me a couple weeks to kind of get over it. Uh, but anyway, besides that, getting off on a tangent, I when I go back home, it's weird. I just go right back to like my home routine back home. I'll go right back to it. I'll get up, make myself breakfast, go for a walk, come home, come back, work about 10 a.m., 11, go out in the garage, work out, come back in, make myself a smoothie. I'll go right back to like a routine I have there, but that routine I have there, I don't have here. I mean, it's really weird for me how this stuff works. And like I said, when I lived in Waihin in my condo, I had a really awesome routine there. But ever since I've come here in Surin, I don't have such a good routine besides work. And the biggest thing I've been missing with Surin that I've always done back home in Waihin, my condo, is I always had like a self study time. Not just me just answering emails or doing videos, answering questions. Me actually sitting down and have my own personal study time. Even if it's me reading a book, like before I did this coffee talk, I started getting the habit of listening to my audios again. Um, Lots of times in the morning, that would kind of slow down the inner chatter, the negative chatter in my mind, as I'm kind of listening to something. Uh, so, so I mean, it's I just want to share that. It's just kind of been weird for me, and that's kind of it's just being aware of it. I started thinking, well, dude, I've been up in Surin for like maybe like 7 months now since February. So ever since February, all I do is work. I'm in a good work routine, but other than that, I don't really have a good routine. Like I haven't really been working out, and I haven't done no self study, uh, pretty much. Here and there, hit and miss, but not like I usually do. So now I'm kind of changing it. So now I've kind of got self aware of it, and that's why I brought up self awareness. Is this is how you fix it? This is how I'm fixing it. Is is all the selling stuff outside. I can hear it. It's the intercom. You might not hear it because I can take the sound out, but it's so loud right now. Let me take a sip of coffee. Let them pass. Does it feels like I have to like. That's why I just pause myself because it feels like I'm. It feels like I'm gonna start screaming over the sound. Uh, but anyway, what what I've been kind of been doing is kind of hone down on my own study, hone down on Chad, and so what I do in the mornings is because I come out, make my coffee, I usually put an earpiece in. So this is my earpiece, and I listen to an audio. Sometimes I listen to audiobooks. Sometimes I listen to Never Goddard. Sometimes I listen to his original lectures. If you really want to listen to Never Goddard original lectures, I mean, it's on my YouTube. Go to Never Goddard's playlist. Those are all his original. These are not AI generated. These are not like when I mean AI generated, it's made up. All they've done is copied his voice and they make up a script, and it sounds like Never Goddard is teaching you, but it's not really his teachings, or it's not really his authentic teachings. Uh, and I got other like book reviews on there too, that you can search. And plus, sometimes you can go to other YouTube channels that post that like post like book reads and stuff like that, or podcasts you like to listen to. So that's one way. And one of the things I'm listening to right now is The Pruning Shears of Revision by Never Goddard. That's on my YouTube channel. Look it up. I'm also listening to At Your Command. That's Never Goddard too. That's a book, but it's an audio book by Never Goddard. At Your Command is more about source power. And I wrote this down. It's really about, it's kind of really about, listen to this. Most people don't know themselves, okay? And I heard someone say this, like, one, most people don't know what they want out of life. Most people don't know what they want. They want their dream life, but they don't know what it is. But at the same time, the oxymoron is most people don't even know themselves at all. Okay. Because the reason why I say this is most people don't know themselves because most people don't know the power that they really have. You understand this? And I was listening to the Command, and I wrote this down before I listened to the audio, and Never Goddard started talking about the same thing. But he explained it differently. He explains like people don't know that they're in a self-imposed prison. Again, they don't know the power that they really have. Source is inside you. You're not separate from source. You're not separate from source power, how we've been taught in Sunday school, where God lives up in the clouds with a Care Bear somewhere separate from you. Okay. God is inside you. Source power is inside you. Consciousness is inside you. And with consciousness, we're all interconnected. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but that's just kind of that's just kind of what the audio was kind of about, that we are source power. And so that's what I've kind of been doing. I've been doing that in the morning. I brought some books with me that I love to read, like the Power Wealth Classics. You can get that book. I'll put the link in the description for you. Then I'll read that, but that contains 3 books, like the most popular books I love to read. So I'm getting back into reading. Then right now I am going through the 30-day breakthrough challenge. And I think that's what kind of awoken everything in me, because I'm about a week, I'm a week into it. So starting Monday, I'll be on week 2. So I went live with the 30-day challenge, I think a couple months ago. I think around June-ish, something like that. But this time I'm actually going through it like a real person, okay, like a newbie, and to give me time to go through it, see how everything aligns, see how all the assignments align. But there are assignments inside to help you peel that onion, and uh, and it gives me time to kind of revise it, make sure everything is linked up. So right now I'm going into week 2. So if you want to get inside a 30-day challenge as I'm going through it as well, because I'll be a week ahead of you and you'll get all the new updates with it. Right now it's $1. Okay, but after I go through the 30-day challenge, about 3 weeks down the road, like three and a half weeks down the road, it's gonna raise to $100. Okay, that's why I'm going through it. But I think when I started this a week ago, this is what led. Honestly, honestly, the 30-day challenge is really working because it really made me think what's really going on. And I really noticed that that old self was kind of creeping in. Okay, that old self that was laying dormant was starting to creep in. And even though this video might be all over the place, I wanted to share that with you. And this is, I guess the whole point is this is continual work. You're always going to work on this. Okay. It's like if you always want to stay physically fit, well, what that means is you're always going to have to be active. Okay. It doesn't mean you always have to go to the gym every day. It just means that you have to have an overall active lifestyle. Maybe you get involved with extracurricular activities. Maybe you join a gym, and then in gyms nowadays, lots of times, they have a whole bunch of different, I want to say courses, but not really courses, but a whole bunch of different workouts you can get involved with. Sometimes you can meet somebody there that they're going through it just like you, so you guys kind of do it together. You can get involved with outside, get involved with softball. If you live by the beach, take walks on the beach, take runs on the beach. If you could start just overall walking more. Like if you live close to like the stores and stuff like that, why not just go out and walk rather than jump in the car or jump on your bike and drive? And that way it kind of keeps you in that overall active lifestyle. Okay, if you want to be in shape, you want to look in shape, well, that's what you got to do. I mean, if you stop, what happens when you stop? Well, when you stop, you gradually get out of shape. Okay, it doesn't happen overnight. Like you just don't wake up out of shape, but it happens over time. Okay, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing in manifesting success and talk about identity work. Is when you start to get relaxed, that old self, that old man, starts to gain a little bit more power, and it starts to creep back in because it's dormant. It lays dormant because as long as your mind's aware, you're kind of like, oh, you're kicking it down, you're keeping it dormant. But other than that, YouTube fam, tribe, let's start to wrap this up. Now, if you have questions on this, because I kind of went over a lot of stuff, but I didn't really go deep in detail, just kind of explaining kind of what I've been going through a little bit. If you have a question with this, comment below, and I'll try my best to help you out. Especially remember with Sunday Coffee Talks, we do have their Super Thanks Spotlight. So leave a super thanks down below, attach a question to it, and that's what we're talking about on every single Sunday. But other than that, my friends, peace out. Remember, you're going to have a blessed week. Tomorrow is Monday. And also remember, before I go, if you want to jump into the 30-day breakthrough challenge, the link is below. I'll leave the link below for you. Right now, it's $1. I'm on week 2, so I'm a week ahead of you. If you jump in right now, what that means for you is you're going to get all the new updates because you'll be a week behind me. But jump into the 30-day challenge because this is really what kind of awoken for me to be really aware of my old self creeping back in. I mean, I know 100% that's where it came from. It just took me a little while to get to it in this video. but anyway, remember, I love you guys. You're going to have a blessed week, an awesome week coming ahead, and I'll see you next Sunday.